Man, my heart, my passion, my desire is that we would have men who will fight sin and who will live holy, who will love their wives, who will love their children, who will actually be committed to a local church, serve, be submissive, and then at the end of the day, produce other men like them in discipleship. I grew up, in a single-parent home. My father was not around, so it was just me, my mom, and my little sister. Grew up going to church with her at times. My mom wasn't a Christian, but she was one that was religious. I mean, where we grew up, going to church was being a Christian. So we would go to church, and I figured because I was involved in what other people who were Christians was involved in, then me and God must be cool. And so I just kind of lived life being the good guy, like everybody around me. You're a good kid, you're gonna be something one day. Hip-hop was seen as a culture. It wasn't just some form of music, but it was for me an identity of sorts. And so all throughout life, I didn't grow up with a father, so these guys spoke to me at a male role model. They were my example of what a man should look like. They were my example on how I should pursue a woman. They were my example on how I spend my money. I feel like the medium of hip-hop is one that is a mainstream medium. It's the language of our culture for anyone who's considered a young adult or anyone who's considered a kid. A wide variety of people that can be reached within this one genre. After becoming a believer and having everything redeemed in my life, I wanted to use this very medium to go back into the culture and express godly viewpoints and what Christ has said about life, death, and everything that comes in between. When Christ called me into the body, my heart was instantly burdened to tell other people so they can become aware of who they are in sin and who they need to be in Christ. It's the scriptures that convict us to go back and redeem the culture. God created music for his own glory, and just by our own sinful nature, we pervert everything. I'm not just looking for the kid that's influenced by hip hop. I want them. I want the little kid who has a poster on his wall of Eminem, who's got CDs and MP3s and downloads on iTunes of all, artists that are famous right now. But I also want that artist. It's Paul that talks about actually putting things into practice. It's Paul that talks about examining yourself. I heard a message one day by Pastor John Piper, and he had a whole sermon that just dealt with the passivity of a Christian.
Why am I this way? Make war! Bang with me, but bang with me, never playing games.
It's a battle cry, it's a rallying song for believers to come around a central theme or idea that we have been called to fight sin. We complain and we gripe about how much we're struggling and we're wrestling with sin, but we don't see any war. I don't see you taking proactive steps for success in your life. From the music itself, from my own personal life, from our home, from our church home, from everything that we do with my wife and our son, I really want to make known Christ, and through that, help you form and shape your identity and who you're meant to be.